let's review the Smith & Wesson M&P R8 BB revolver. Okay, let's go over some of the basic info. The velocity is 410 feet per second, which is pretty high for a CO2 BB pistol. The likely reason is that none of the air is wasted on the blowback actions or any other gimmicks. It takes standard .177 steel BBs. It uses a standard 12-gram CO2 cartridge. It holds 8 rounds, and it typically costs around $69. Okay, so here it is in the original packaging. It comes packed in what I call suicide packaging. Be careful opening this thing. You're more likely to hurt yourself with the plastic than with the BB gun itself. The first thing I noticed upon receiving this gun is how large it is. It really doesn't look that big when seeing it online, but once you hold it in your hands, you'll realize this is a pretty big gun. Second thing I'll mention is that it's mostly plastic. It looks like it would be metal, but it isn't. While the plastic is good quality plastic, I would rather have metal because it's more realistic and makes the weight more accurate. This little switch does two things. One thing is open the gun for loading the ammo. You'll need to eject this little cartridge as that's where the BBs are actually loaded. Loading the BBs is pretty straightforward. The second function that this switch serves is for the safety. Red dot means it's ready to fire, and if it's hidden, then it's on safety. Loading the CO2 cartridge is easy. Just push this little button on the bottom and then loosen this little screw thingy. Insert the CO2 and then tighten the screw back. So now it's time for my standard tests. First, let's start with the spam test. This is how I determine how much penetration power it really has. I am cheap, so I use store brand spam for most of it. Okay, so let's see how many cans we penetrated. Looks like it made a dent in the back of the first can, but that's all. So, let's open it up and have a look. I like spam because it works kind of like ballistics gel. Okay, so this is where the BB went in, and let's slice it up. Looks like we can see the channel of destruction. It appears the BB hit the back of the can and bounced back into the spam a little bit. So I'm going to give this gun a score of 0.9 spam. That's actually pretty typical for a BB pistol. Alright, let's move on to the accuracy testing. I will shoot 8 rounds at 10 feet, 20 feet, and 30 feet. Here's the result at 10 feet. This is not bad, this is about average. Here's 20 feet. Again, this is about average. And here's 30 feet. Again, about average for a gun like this. My biggest complaint about this gun is the heavy trigger. It takes a lot of pressure to pull this trigger, a lot more than any gun I've ever used, whether it's a BB gun or a regular firearm. The heavy trigger pull really messes with the accuracy, especially if you're trying to fire off several rounds quickly. Young kids may even lack the physical strength necessary to fire this gun.